I was out here 2 weeks ago on that last video. This is the Buffalo River between Dilworth and Glendon, and as you can see, there's a lot more road, but there's still water and plenty of it. And yet in the horizon, if I can scan in over there, up in the little higher land, farming is taking place. It's a little late to get crops in the ground, but they're doing it. However, today is not about looking at floodwaters, but I just thought you may enjoy that. Today, I'm focusing on an idea that sometimes we think is pretty great. The idea is one size fits all, in that some things in life would be a lot easier if we simply had one choice instead of multiple choices. And so, what is it to only have one choice? I've got a picture coming up for you shortly, as soon as I get done giving you a bit of a panorama of this Buffalo River and how it's changed, and maybe you can see where eventually it'll get back within its banks. But wouldn't life be a lot easier if our choices were simpler? This is the Buffalo River further toward the Red River. I had shown it 2 weeks ago as well, and I mentioned that behind here there's a wooden bridge, and however, we want to have more choices. And so I'm going to show you another picture that I took at a store fairly close to the previous picture, and see if you can tell the difference. We like choices, we like options, and that's just in the dry cereal aisle of our grocery stores. So what is it about life that sometimes we think, well, we just need to have one way of looking at it, that we need to have one perspective, one doctrine, one law that everybody needs to abide with? Is that reality? That's what I want to throw around a bit today on this one-size-fits-all type of understanding. As I think about my life, there has certainly been changes and challenges, not only in kind of the physical living, but in my perspectives about issues and ideas and people. People are complex. They aren't all the same. And yet in the complexities come new discoveries and new options and new ways of seeing what life holds for all of us. And in those variety of perspectives, there's those who say there is a historic codification of what is right and what is wrong, whether you look at that in sacred writings, whether you look at that in constitutional documents, that somehow what was written hundreds if not thousands of years ago should hold true for today. Really? Because those people all of those years ago had their own worldview and their own perspective. But and I'm not saying theirs was wrong, but does it really hold for the realities of today? The field behind me has yet to have all of the activity that some of the other fields are having in this area. And yet, what is going to be done behind me will be done in a matter of hours, where in the past, It probably took days to get a field tilled and planted and ready to go. So which way is better? Why do we think that something 100, 1,000, or a millennia ago is somehow more pure and more righteous than what goes on in our lives today? Have we not been given the opportunity to investigate our world, to use our brains and our insights and our compassions in a complex, ever-changing world to make decisions and to make, if you want to say, laws or practicalities? Not that it all has to fit everybody, but we offer room for the unique situations in which people find themselves. If we like so much diversity in dried cereals, why do we try to make human beings fit into one little structure? So what is the point of all of this today? Well, thinking about it from my perspective over the years of lived experience, over the years of studying, and also over the years of being in relationship and dialoguing with other people, for myself, there was a bit of a struggle, and maybe there still is a bit of that, of how do I live my uniqueness and yet fit in? That idea of one size fits all, I don't believe it works. Yes, there are norms, and yes, there are rules and maybe even laws that we as a community live in. But every person is unique. I do not believe people go out of their way to make bad decisions. I also believe people learn from their decisions. And over the course of time, perspectives can be gained, changed, modified, expanded, where maybe there is more open arms and some more openness to the uniqueness of the world that is around us. Because I believe that all of creation is unique, and there's beauty in everyone and everything that goes on. Behind me is some prairie being burnt in order to allow new growth to come. Because if you left all the old grass there, it would eventually become so weedy and overgrown that it would have little opportunity for regeneration. So maybe that's part of it. The regeneration, the new birth, the new ideas. One size does not fit all. And always and again, thank you for watching, and I appreciate your perspectives and your comments.